30 plus seconds. Panda Cat going in. Panda Cat trying to make it happen. And it's not going to happen. SK Gaming are going to take the game. What? Are you kidding me? What? SK Gaming held a base with about 10% health. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. How did they manage that? That is a motivation killer for Rival. What a play from SK. Wow! They could not have done that any better.
Hey YouTube, it's your boy Hazer. Today we're going to be taking a look at SK/PK, the two-time World Championship winning core, I guess, of Neil, Paul, Scary D, and Zapman, alongside their junglers Sanfra Soccer and Cuvo Fred in the two different seasons. We're going to be having a look at what they did that made them so good at holding on in games where maybe you feel they should have lost, holding the base, holding Phoenixes, playing against Fire Giant, just the way that they were able to hold out in games long enough, and they ended up coming out and winning a lot of games where people counted them out. So, yep, hope you enjoy it. Sorry, it's been a little bit of a wait for the latest YouTube video. We should get things up and running again with SPL starting up on Friday. So yeah, let's get into the clips. Okay, we're going to start with the most painful one for me. We've got Renegades versus SK Gaming, Season 6 SWC semi-final. Game 4. This is going to be, I don't know how the audio balance and stuff is. Hopefully I'm not totally messing this up. I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to editing videos like this. But here we go. Situation right now, Renegades 10 kills to 4 over SK. 3k gold lead, but this FG is being pulled. They picked off Belair before. And we'll see how this goes. We're going to go through this a little bit. Chario catches out Sanfra Soccer, gets the poison onto him, and the jungler is now down. As they pick up the FG here, Renegades, let's have a look at the relic situation. Beads down for Dardes. Might be impactful. Beads down for Paul. Beads down for Zapman. Beads down for Neil. All looking pretty scary for the SK boys. Here's the push down the right-hand side from Renegades. They got 5 grouped. They've got the Fire Giant. Cherry just kind of hanging out in the jungle, making sure nobody wants to go for a flank or anything like that. He's going to distract Paul a bit, take a bit of poke for his worries, but everything looks good. Here we go. Tier 2 tower goes down. Let's start off. Let's start off. I personally don't normally like pushing the solo side Phoenix after you get fire. I don't know how much gold in hand these players would have, but it's bound to be not insignificant. They've just taken down a tier 2 tower. They've gotten the fire. They have no beads on Dardes, but the reason that I think they would choose to push this is they know the Jingwei beads are going to be down for a little bit. So Renegades have got to be thinking, okay, that's what we got to exploit here. On the other side, SK are thinking, all right, that's what they're going to try and do. Now let's have a look at their positioning as they come in here. Neil and Paul on the side, Zap and Belair inside the Phoenix, but standing behind the Phoenix line. No minions in yet. The wave is just coming. Generally, you don't want to push a Phoenix without minions. EFG obviously makes it easier, but generally you want to hold on and wait until you've got minions. Now let's see how Renegades play this one out. Here we go. Dardes going to have a lot of damage here. Shibalanke passive. Shibalanke 1. Absolutely going to chunk through the Phoenix. Shield used a little bit early there by Raffer. First mistake, maybe. There's the blink engaged by Raffer. And you see what Belair did straight away. They know they're going to go on Zapman. Belair stands there to make him an even more enticing target. Zap there. No beads. Does have the ult. So should be able to ult it if he wants to. Chooses not to actually ult the Geb ult. Either that or he just didn't have the reaction time. But I think he probably chose not to. And we see Belair blink past Raffer. As the blink comes in from Rafa Nika, on goes Belair to the backline to stop Dardes, Cherio, and Funballer being too involved in the fight. This means that the Persephone ult can't hit onto his backline. He's blocked that out, and let's see how it plays out now. Belair ults out, and Zapman jumps away. Nika now stuck in there, up downs, doesn't hit his ult. Mistake by Nika, and now you see the 4 members of SK have taken so little damage. They've stood behind the Phoenix. Phoenix takes about half of its HP. but Nika is now stuck in there. Rafa and Cherio trying to peel for him, and the counter engage comes through from SK. There's the damage. Paul just explodes him. Nika goes down. Rafa getting blown up as well. The auto is coming through from Zapman. Here comes Sam. He's back after respawning. They go in. Sam gets revived by Neil. Nearly goes down. And yeah, Cherry and Fumball left running for their lives after that engage. Let's go back quickly. Have another look at the actual engage on the Phoenix. I should really have been more prepared with the clip. So here you go. First mistake by... This is going to be a combination of praise for SK and the way they play it, but when it comes to these kind of base holds, you have to entice mistakes and punish mistakes when they come. I think the first mistake here is this shield used by Rafa. I'm not sure what it was used on. Let's quickly run that through. See what happened. He walks in. He gets rooted by Neil. So Neil could have looked for a pull on him. And Rafa, I guess, is ready to cleanse that. The pull didn't actually come through. He just got 2'd and 3'd. So Neil kept his dash. Didn't want to pull onto Nika because I'm pretty sure if he uses his 1 there, he just gets killed by Dardes and Fumball probably. No beads available for another couple seconds as well. Might have to use the resonance off. Anyway, here comes the second mistake. This is super telegraphed. You know exactly what you're going to do here. They know Zapman's beads are down, but SK, sorry, know the Zapman's beads are down as well, so they're going to play around that. They're ready for this blink engage from Rafa, and the blink Gabalt comes through, and there's no follow-up. There's nothing to be done. Cherio is all the way back here. You'd like to see him a bit further in on this circuit. Has the beads available. No reason for him to be playing so scared. His ult is maybe just coming up. Maybe that's what he's holding out for. But there's the engage by Rafa. Shibalanke ult used. They're gaining very little off of that. They're trying to hit Zapman. They can't get to him. He's going to stay healthy. Nika goes in. Merlin damage is hitting Nika this whole time, by the way. And he's just standing in it, which I think is a mistake. Here comes the up down from Nika onto the enemy solo laner. Not sure even if he hits it, he kills him. And he will get blown up. Paul with the Frostbolt picks up the kill. And yeah, the fight's pretty simple from there. Something else that we should note in all of these clips is the team comps that are being run by SK. And that's another thing which makes them very good at holding, is the gods they pick. Paul being the biggest proponent, the biggest advantage, I guess, with the god pull that he has, going for the Merlin in this case. And this is the next clip. I guess we could just move on. We can have a look at the clip, the big mage they have this time. Last time it's a Merlin. This time it's a Scylla. Both gods who can put out a lot of damage from range, have CC, punish over grouping, punish over extension, and have a little bit of an escape themselves as well. So both very safe mid laners that Paul's playing with a lot of damage. This game, PK versus Radiance. This is Season 7 SWC semi-final, right? This is a semi-final. PK up 14-12 on kills, but they are currently down 3 Phoenixes. So we're going to see how they hold this time out. When it comes to holding the base, when you've lost this much of your, of your towers, of your map control off of your Phoenixes and tier 2s being down, your Titan's so unsafe, you need to handle the engage yourselves. You need to be the ones engaging. You can't allow the enemy team to just walk up to your Titan, or they will just kill it at this stage in the game. It goes down too fast. 40 minutes into the game, everybody full build. Titan doesn't last long. Things to note, Aurora and Benji are the only members of their team here that don't have Fire Giant. Earlier on, they actually misplayed when they got the Phoenixes. All 3 Phoenixes were down, and Aurora and Benji both sort of went too deep. Benji diving the fountain and Aurora just sticking around too long in mid. Both got picked off, lost their fire. Now we're going to see the fight here to hold the base. Radiance looking to take this one down to win the set, by the way, and go to the SWC final to face off against Rival. And Neilma gets in there. Initially, gets the beads out, gets into his ult. This is a mistake. Going on Sobek, always a mistake. And there is a huge Scylla ult. This isn't really something you can replicate, I don't think, this clip. This just shows kind of exactly what you should do when your Phoenixes are down. You need to engage outside. You need to catch the enemy team off and get them going on the wrong targets. Let's have a look again. Let's see where the flanks came in from the side here. So there goes Neil. He comes in here. Scary D on the side here. Cuvo, Fred, hidden away, ready to go up and ult to follow up. So they have Neil go in and bait out abilities. Let's look at what's used on him. There is I think Persephone Leap was used there. Aurora uses his ult on him. Cyclone, Big Man, and Adapting all grouped up here on the backside. It's not where you want to be caught out. Your two frontliners up here. And here comes, you see on the map here, you can see Ratatosker coming down. You can see Set coming in from the back. So they manage this engagement. They get them to go on Neil. They waste skills. I think he got beads as well. Looks like it was Adapting, used his beads on the Blink Pluck. And Neil's fine. You know, he's still got his Pridwin shield to come. He's got all the prots from his ult. He's a Sobek. He do not be dying. Anyway, here comes the damage. There goes the ult. Scary and Cuvo splitting this fight. Now you've got Radiants on the back foot. Radiants have walked up way too far, by the way. That's another thing to note. Again, we're going to talk a little bit about the mistakes that were made as well. These fire minions are not splitting the fight. You can be 5 players in mid here. You've gone up too far. You've allowed yourselves to be engaged upon in a 5v5 while you have 3 Phoenixes down. That should never happen. They should always be waiting for these minions to push up. Let's see how this fight goes on. There's the Scylla ult. I mean, the Scylla ult just absolutely destroys Cuvo and Scary. And yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Wait, destroys who? I don't know. Who did the Scylla ult hit? Let's look at that again. I need to pay attention. Also, I'm sorry that their quality's so crap. Maybe I can fix this in post-production. We'll see. Cuvo gets in, hits Cyclone. Cyclone got into the wall. Aurora and Benji, I think, both got hit by the Scylla ult. Paul doing what Paul does, hitting big mage abilities. And now Cuvo, the only one to fall for his team. Aurora and Cyclone both down, Adapting, running for his life. Scary will catch him out. I'm not sure splitting as much as they did was a good idea. I guess they just want to try and keep somebody alive. Adapting tries to turn it around. Not sure he should have done that either. Maybe he should have kept running. And they get a 3 for 1. And if I remember correctly, they end up... Do they end the game off this, or do they just hold the base? I guess they just hold the base. I did find all these clips a while ago and put them together. I've been taking my sweet time, recording the part of it that actually takes effort. So, yeah. I've kind of forgotten what goes on. Oh no, I've done a little skip here. Skip forwards, and PK... I've held their base. They've killed the 2 remaining players, and they've ended the game. 3 Phoenixes down, and they hold the base and come back and run it down and kill the enemy Titan. Another clip. Okay, where are we now? Splyce versus SK. We're back to Season 6. SWC, this is going to be the quarterfinal. Let's see the situation here. You got 5 fires for Splyce up against SK. This is game 1. First game of the tournament for these teams, I believe. 10-1 for Splyce, dominating this game with the Kukulkan. And this is actually one I put in to show you guys sort of, even when their base hold doesn't go right, they do a lot of things right, okay? So left-hand side, Phoenix push. No Hunter for Splyce, worth noting. They do have a Kukulkan, but no Poly online yet, I believe. I think he's working on one, or his next time probably would have been one. Maybe it's going to be a Reaver anyway, I don't know. But they don't have that much Phoenix damage. Okay, let's see the setup here. Let's look at how the positioning comes out in Phoenix. Merlin, again, by the way, for Paul, they have fantastic counter engage with this comp. They can go in super hard. Thor ult, Apollo ult, Athena ult can all get to the back line very, very quickly. Athena has sort of hard engage, can just dash taunt people over and over. Belair on his signature Achilles, he loves that pick. No, I wouldn't say a particularly strong pick for holding the base, but does make it scary to tank things up as a frontliner. So let's see how they position under the Phoenix here. Let's have a look. Okay, so important to note, wave already coming in. They're not quite in position, but you want to see where they stand as the wave comes in. Behind the Phoenix line tends to be the way that they play this. There we go. They stand behind the Phoenix line. They make the engage hard. They make it difficult for Splyce to get the engage they want. Zapman all the way back here, Paul over here, Sam over here. They could look for a wall here to wall somebody in. Neil has a Magi's. You're going to have to go deep to force that out. And you've got another frontliner over here. So if you want to engage on the front line, it's very, very difficult. It's almost impossible to engage on a backliner here on this Phoenix siege. They're saying, you don't have a hunter. You're not going to take this Phoenix down quickly. We're going to let the Phoenix will you down. Okay. So Lurtroll goes in there. There's the blink stun from Aurora onto Zapman, hoping to force out some beads or something. Zap savvy enough to hold them here. I know this. I wonder if I. Oh no! What if I could move this out of the way or something? I've totally messed that up, haven't I? Let me go back a bit. God damn it! Useless. Back to here. Okay, this is roughly where we are. Where could I move this? I could just move this down here maybe. And I can press space to play. Nah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, chat. Move it up here. It doesn't work. Whatever. We're playing. Okay. Here comes Solar Troll. Gets in there. So Aurora blink stuns onto Zapman, and now they switch onto the front lines. But again, the front lines are so far back that nobody's hitting them apart from SOT and Aurora. They're going to take a bit of poke from this Phoenix. Sam walls off the escape through here. I did mention that. And Paul is just starting to get in here. Level 17. Here they go around the side. Taunt from Neil. They're out of position. Scream looks for an engage. Gets onto the Powell. I'm not sure if he forced out beads there. Looks like he got Zapman speeds only. Maybe he insta-proc that. Try and pull him in. Try and catch him sleeping. But doesn't really get much out of that. And the Phoenix is now down to 60. SOT and Aurora look to back off. There is the ult as well. So 2 ults forced out by SK Gaming just with good positioning. They forced out Scream's ult and they forced out SOT's ult. They've used nothing themselves apart from Zapman's beads. Not too bad a trade. They also got Solar Troll's beads, actually worth knowing. Anyway, let's see the next engage. Phoenix is down to 50, so now they need to worry about this. Now they need to hold. Again, look at the positioning. Sam, way off on the side, can't engage on him. Neil and Belair stand forward, but still on the Phoenix line. You have to walk up to hit them. You have to become in range of Paul and Zapman. Zapman and Paul both playing safe, can't be engaged on, especially with Aurora no longer having that blink stun available. There is a blink from Daji, but no ult anymore, so if she goes in early, she will just die. Okay, here comes the Phoenix hold. And here's, I don't know if you could hear that, but Finch says, I think they're the best Phoenix defense team in the league. Wall onto the SOT. Stun goes onto Belair from Cyclone Spin. Aurora goes onto him, and now it looks like SK start to kind of surge forward. CC was used in the form of the Spirit Ball. I don't know if Aurora used his stun as well, and they try and return some damage. Paul actually switching stance. The taunt goes onto Aurora. Aurora getting down to 50, 60% HP, and you look at all this space control coming out of the Merlin as well, funneling them over here, funneling them into the right-hand side, and meaning that they can't support Aurora here as he's trapped in. Aurora drops the horrific, backs out, very low HP, gotta be healing up. Again though, still only Paul's stance switch used in forms of ult, and they still have all their relics. So they've forced a lot out of Splice, and they've held the Phoenix, but now the Phoenix is very, very low. They cannot let any more poke come onto this Phoenix from Ven and from Cyclone Spin, so they need to take the next fight kind of on their terms. They need to be the ones engaging. Athena does still have the blink and the Ankh. So here we go. In comes SOT again using the 2. Dropped down is the 2 from Paul. There's the wall as well. And now they go. Scary D, Belair, whatever we're calling him, blinks onto the backline with the Athena ult. Neil gone back to the base to heal up. Coming back in. And they're engaging this fight on their terms. Here they go. There's the ult. Not quite executing. That was really nice play by Cyclone, by the way, to drop that Isis ult and heal Aurora above the execute threshold. But still, look at the health bars right now. If you look at the red health bars for SK, they're all pretty healthy still. Paul and Zap still full HP. Sam still full HP. Neil having taken a little bit of damage, and Belair as well. A little bit. But you look at Aurora and SOT, the front line for Splice have been beaten down, both below 50%. And here comes the engage. Big taunt from Belair onto the front line again. They're low HP. You got to be finishing them off. Zapman goes up into the air. This is a full commit on the dive. SK, whenever they hold the base, when they decide to go, they go hard. They do not stop. Here comes the engage. Thor ult from Sam for Soccer. Hits, I think maybe it hits Ven. It looks like it hits Ven and nobody else. You gotta be following up on Neil's taunt here, hitting Aurora and Solar Troll. I think they both die if he lands onto the correct target. Belair getting very low now. There's the Kukulkan ult comes through. Ven turns it around with SOT. They kill Sam. Cyclone gets Zapman. And only losing Scream are Splice, and they're going to end up taking this one home. But let's go back for a second and just see this engage again. I just want to show you how close this was to being perfect, how close this was to being the base hold. From 10-1 down, from against 5 Fire Giant members of Splice. Levels down, gold down, items down, everything. So far behind, but they held the Phoenix for long enough. They poked Aurora down. They made SOT use relics, ults. They wasted time and they baited things out. And now when they choose to go, it's a great engage. Belair gets a great blink once again after the wall from Sam. And I think if the follow-up here from Sam is just a little bit better, they can win this fight. They really can. Look at where they are, all grouped up now. If this taunt from Neil only hits onto 2, I don't know if he hit Scream and he immuned it. No, looks like he missed Scream altogether. Zapman lands down. If Zapman and Sam land on the same targets there, I feel like this has got to be a winning fight for SK. They just don't quite. Even when they mess it up, it's pretty close to being great. Paul gets screamed just at the end there, showing what he can do on the Merlin. But Paul and Neil left behind 2v4, and they're gonna lose the base and lose the game. Obviously, remember they came back and won the set, but they're pretty good at that as well, coming from a 2-game deficit or a 1-game deficit, and holding it out. Okay, next up, Rival versus SK Season 6 SWC Final. We're getting into that. 20-10 for Rival over SK right now. About a 15-16k gold lead for Rival. FG on all 5. Panda Cat piloting the Merlin this time. Paul on the Raijin. And let's have a look at how this goes. Again, we've got Sam on the Thor, Belair on the Achilles. So running the same sort of stuff that they run all the time. Let's see how they hold the base this time out. They have lost left and right Phoenixes. Down 2 Phoenixes. Down 5 Fire Giants. How will they hold this time? Have a drink of water. I think we've got a little bit of a wind up here. Don't know why I left so much time in some of the clips and didn't know there's... Yeah, who knows? I'm terrible at editing.
They're looking good, man. I mean, they are right on the edge. I think they've got a really good shot at doing it right here. And
Sorry for the glugging. Okay. Looking for a mid lane engage. Important to note, fire minions streaming down right and left, leaving the mid for last. The mid one's always kind of annoying to siege because teams can deal with the side the side lane fire minions and still be able to get to mid fastest. We'll see how they do here. It looks like they've sent Twig over to the right hand side on this Guan Yu jungle. He's going to be trying to push these minions up and pressure the right Phoenix. We'll see how they deal with that. Looks like they're going to send Sam over. There is a Magi's as well for the Gwen, which it's good to get proc, so we'll see if Sam does that. Yes, he does. There's the wall, stops him walking in, gets his Magi's. Paul hovering over there as well, just making Twig scared. Twig's baited 3 over, and he's saying to his team, there's 3 here, you gotta go, go, go. Paul's over there, so you've only got Belair and Neil in mid. Waves being cleared out by Panda, but there is no wave here to reduce the backdoor protections, and I think this is EFG. It must be EFG, right? 4 minutes remaining on it, so it was done a minute ago. It was done about 35, 36. So that's got to be EFG here for the boys of Rival, so they can take this down. Right now, Arco's not hitting it though, so they're not too worried. Nobody's hitting it, in fact. There we go. A couple autos coming through from Arco. Gets 3 or 4 autos onto it and gets it down to about 8%. Now you see abilities coming over the wall from Panda Cat, trying to hit Paul and Zapman. That's exactly what you want to do here if you're the mage for Rival. Hit the other backline if they can come in, and Twig's coming in from the side to pinch on this mid fight. Let's see how they play it. Paul and Zap run towards Twig. Twig actually has to dash out and away. I don't know if he had to use the beads there as well. No, he doesn't have beads. He's opted without them. And meanwhile, Neil's gone in mid, while PBM's rushing over to the right-hand side to help his jungler. They've gotten a little engage in mid. Neil goes on to Fino, it looks like. Gonna dash out. Here's the damage from Panda. And here comes the Thor ult. We saw it last time out of SK. They were a bit more patient the last time out. They let them hit the Phoenix a few more times, but this time they split them up. They got Twig, again, a frontliner down to low HP off the initial engage with using very little, used Regional, and then they get an engage from Neo, and the follow-up this time comes out of Sam. Last time it was an engage from Belair. In goes Belair. Here comes the Thorol again. Sorry, Sam. You gotta be... Sam got MVP of this tournament, I'm sure, and well deserved, but he's got to be hitting these Thor ults late game, missing a few. But the Xing Chen ult comes through from Neil onto the frontline Twig. We saw the Magi's got forced out earlier. The beads must have been forced out of Arkil about 30 seconds ago as well. Terrible for him to be getting caught out by this XT ult. If he got Thor ulted as well, he would have died. Just punishing the lack of relics. They tend to always be CCing the front line of the other team, CCing the people who they know they can get the CC onto and follow up. They're not forcing beads, they're just forcing hard engage. And here they go onto Twig. Twig can't get res, gets executed, double kill for Belair. Panda putting out big damage. You can see the lead coming through here, the fact that they're almost holding this. Panda has a triple, and now it's just Paul and Zapman left alive. Always the backline for SK, and PK stays safe and is able to keep fighting. SK Gaming hold the base. Unbelievable. This is just bizarre what happens now as well. The calls here, they're like, oh, we got it back to defend. Then they're like, oh no, Zap, you push mid, maybe you'll be able to get something. Paul backs. Paul deals with the wave that's on the Titan. Another wave is coming down the left-hand side. He goes over to right to try and save this Phoenix. He's like, oh no, I gotta save the base again. Comes back. Back and forth and back and forth. This bit, maybe we look at another team to see how to clear out fire minions going into your base. But somehow SK and Paul get away with it. They don't lose a Phoenix off of this. They hold the base, they hold the Titan, and Zapman gets a mid tier 2 off of it, I think. But yeah, bizarre. That was a bizarre one. Yeah, I don't know. Is that it? Did I do it? Did I do the thing I wanted to do? Maybe. Yeah, SK, pretty good at holding the base, I'd say. They know how to do it. I would say let's go through sort of some important notes for how they did it and what they do. So I think the first thing they do whenever a Phoenix engage is coming up is they do not give the enemy team an easy engage. They don't give them a straightforward engage. They don't walk up. They don't, and they never really seem to make the first move when holding a Phoenix. They wait for the other team to come in. The other thing is they always have a very strong mage for the base hold, a safe mage who can get their damage off from range and who has some form of CC. Paul's God Pull, I think, is fantastic for holding the base. Next thing they do is they whittle down frontline. They whittle down frontline on the enemy's engages. They let the enemy come in, get a little bit lower, and they keep themselves fairly healthy while getting the enemy frontline low. And then when they go hard. They commit all together. They dive with all the members of their team having their frontline bait out abilities first, and then the backline dive in as well. I really like the way that they play these base holds. I think they are and have been the model team for everybody else to copy and everybody else to try and emulate on these base holds. I also think it does come down to mistakes from other teams as well. We saw in a lot of those pushes a lack of patience from the teams they were playing against. I think the mid push by Radiance probably being the best example of that, just way too far up. When you've got 3 Phoenixes down, there's no reason to ever be taking a 5v5. I think you could probably say the same thing about the rival push onto mid as well. Phoenix down. The duo side fire minions never had a chance to have any effect because Twig went too far into the nuke on the solo side. And got caught out and poked off, and that split them enough. It pulled PBM out of the fight and meant that the fight in mid could be favorable for SK. But yeah, I don't know. This has been a thing. Hopefully you enjoy it well enough. I'll see you. I think we'll have a lot more content coming up with SPL starting up on Friday. Hoping to have a lot of cool stuff to talk about there. Maybe do a predictions video or something in the next week. We'll see. People have asked me for that. It always feels a bit like cheap content, but I'll do it if people want it. And then we can do some proper SPL analysis coming up. Should be fun. Apologies for the quality. Just what I got from YouTube. Maybe it's to do with my rendering as well. Who knows? But I'll try and make it better for next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. And yeah, I'll see you next time. See you on Friday for SPL. Twitch.tv/Hazer. I think it's 6 p.m. BST. The games start, I believe. But I'll tweet out. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on, subscribe to me on YouTube. Do all that. I don't care. I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.